Hello everyone, and thanks for stopping by to Scrap and Craft with Terry. Today we're going to make some tag pockets. Have a little bit of like hidden journaling space in them. So I think it'll be a fun project. So if you like my video, I just ask that you give me a thumbs up and check out my other ones. And all I did was made a tag pattern just out of like the chipboard stuff, just so I could draw around it. And I made mine at about 5 5/8 by 3 inches. Now you can make yours however big or however small you want them. So that's all I did, and we're using book page for the background. You can use whatever you want. So all I did was just laid my pattern on it, drew around it, and cut out my paper. You need 2 pieces for each tag. So I cut a thumb notch in it, and that's going to be our pocket. So I already went around and inked it. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to glue, and I'm going to glue just from the bottom around and up, over and down, and just to this point. So then our pocket would be from here to here. Okay? Figured I'd get all of that prepared in advance. That doesn't take so long. Thought I needed to figure out something to do again with book page. I like making stuff out of it. And then here I just inked where the opening is. I inked it kind of dark. But the page or the paper that we're using for our tags is going to be a darker brown. So I think it'll be all right. And once you get these glued together, if you have to trim something, just go ahead and trim it. I think everything looks okay. When I cut these, I cut both of them together at the same time, so then they fit better. That was a little cockeyed down here, but that's all right. We don't mind. I should have just made that a little tiny bit straighter. Now, before I do anything else, I just want to make for sure that my tag is going to fit in here. Yes, it will. Now, you can put tags in it, or you can put journaling paper in it. It's just whatever your preference is. Now on the front, I'm going to put a little tag on it. And I already inked around this stuff. Now these are just going to be kind of muted colors. I thought I liked that style. So before I decorate the front, before I make any bulk, I cut a piece for the back. And I cut it small enough that I wanted to see some of my book page around it. Now you can put this on with a glue stick. And maybe I should do that. I was going to use Fabri-Tac, but maybe we'll go with the glue stick. I'm just not 100% sure that glue stick holds everything for very long. So this would just be a tag that would go into a pocket. And if you was going to glue it down in your journal, well, then you wouldn't have to, you wouldn't put any paper on the back. Okay. And you can see the book page through it, and I think that's okay also. Now we can turn it over. And we're going to put a little tag on the front. Now when I put this tag on, I'm only going to glue the same way that I glued this one. I'm just going to glue from this point instead of this side. I'm going to glue from this side, over, across, down, and over. And I'm also going to add lace to the bottom, so I want to make for sure that I don't go below my lace. So maybe we ought to put our lace on there first. So on this tag, we're going to have a couple spots for tags. And we'll turn this around. And then we'll trim this off. I put my white paper down so you would be able to see this stuff better. I have a real pretty table underneath, but the light glares on it. And I'm going to try to put a clear paper over it to see if it cuts the glare down so I can use my tabletop, because that's what I want to do. But yeah, we'll get there eventually. All right, so now we can glue this down. I'm going to put my fingers where I don't want to glue. So we're just going to go right around here. So at first I thought I would just use this tag as decoration, and then I thought, well, while I'm decorating it, I can just make another pocket. And I like the colors, even though they appear to be a little dull. I like the colors, and we're going to use my favorite brown paper. So let me see if this fits in here or if I have to trim it. And it fits in there good. So up here on top, we're going to put a tag topper, and I'm going to match it to my tag paper. So we're just going to glue this on. Try to coordinate everything. Okay, so there's that. Now we can, and I'm just going to round my corners on these and just make journal cards. Okay, everything is in the way. So I'm just cutting the corners together. Sometimes your paper is a little bit lighter, and if you cut it with your background paper, it cuts better. And then everything is pretty much uniform to the same cut. And then I can just re-ink my corners. This would be a good scrap buster and a good mass make, because like the papers that I'm using are just scraps. I think I'll go ahead and do this one also. And I'm using file folders for my tags, and they're just scrap pieces left over from other projects. The book page is just out of an old book. Oh, that ain't going in there right. Wow, that was kind of hard. That didn't cut right there. And that's better. Must not have had it in there like I was supposed to. Okay, so we're done with this. And then I'll just ink these edges. But I inked the back. Sometimes I forget to ink the back of my tags, but I like to ink the back too because then it looks finished. See, I inked that one. Okay. Now we can just go ahead and glue these on. So if you're going to do a mass make, just cut all of your pieces out. And then you can just, and if you're inking, just ink all of them as you go, and then you can just assemble all of them, and it would be a very, very fast project. Okay. Now we can slide this one. Did I glue my... Almost. We can slide this in here. Now on the side here, this is going to show, which good, it's good, it looks good. And then over here, I'm not going to put a pull on either one of these, but you can just barely leave that stick out. And I think that looks pretty good. Now down here on the bottom, I'm just going to glue You Are Magic. Use my Fabri-Tac. And then I wanted to use a little gem up here on this, and the closest thing that I found, this is actually purple, but the closest thing that I found that went with this was this purple. And it's, this background is probably glaring in the light. So that's the purple one, and it pretty much, when it's on the background, looks like this. So I'm also going to put a couple, one on each side of the little saying there. Just to add a little something to that. Oh, I think You Are Magic is cockeyed. But I can't lift it, so we'll leave it. Okay. So I think that looks pretty good. Now I don't know if I want to put anything on top of here or not, because that's just overkill on that. So I think we're good. Okay, so that's our first one. Now on our second one, I have everything inked again. Now on this one I only inked the outside. So we're just going to go ahead and glue this one. And I'm only going to glue around to this point right here. Okay, I'm not driving that glue very straight. I can't make myself put it on the table and ink or glue that way. I just can't make myself do it. So we'll just even up these corners and everything should come out good. I have a little spot right there that needs to be trimmed. And we'll just trim that a little tiny bit, and we'll trim that a little tiny bit. And then we'll just ink a little bit again. Okay. So I have my white paper for the back. So we'll go ahead and do that again. Here it is. So how's everyone doing today? And are you working on anything special? Just having a nice kick-back, relaxed day? What's everyone doing? I've still been sorting and looking through stuff and finding stuff I forgot I had, and it's fun and all at the same time. It makes you a little tired. Well, it makes me tired anyway. Let's see if that's straight. Looks straight, but at the same time I think it's cockeyed. I'll line it up with this. Nope, that's cockeyed for sure. Well, it's over that way a little bit, but I don't like that. Let's add some more glue. And then when you're looking through your stuff that you've had for forever, like for ages, then you have to ask yourself, where did I get this from? Found something one day and I asked my daughter, I says, did you give this to me? She says, I didn't give that to you. I've never seen it before. Too funny. Well, you know what? That's the way it's going to be, whether it's straight or cockeyed. Okay. Now, on this one, we're not going to have a little front pocket because I'm just going to put mushrooms on it. But I want to go ahead and put my lace on. So this is just like a different alternative for the tag. I don't think on my other one I cut where the corner was round. No, I didn't. Well, let's see. Well, I didn't round that corner. Well, how about that? So that corner is straight. So since my lace is on there, I'm not going to try to round it. So that's two different styles anyways, the square corners or the rounded corners. Generally on a tag I round my corners. I must have forgot. Alright, so I'm going to just barely bring this over the lace. Let me see. Let me lay this down and glue it. Maybe I won't make such a mess. Now, if I'm off camera, all I'm doing is adding glue to it. I thought this really tall mushroom looked cute on it. So I'm just going to kind of set it like that somehow, but make sure that it's pretty straight. Yes, I like that. Which is why I say, you know, they're a little bit muted. Now, if you didn't like this being plain over here, you could add something else to it. This is the paper that I put on this tag. I liked it with this one, so I just cut a piece out for my tag topper. The green on it is still not real bright, so I think it looks just fine. I didn't want to use the same paper on both of them. I almost did. But I thought I had to change it up just a little tiny bit. So I like that because that has browns in it and it still has the muted colors. And then on the back of this I inked this. So this will slide right in here. Now since we don't have the little top pocket, you could always just add another tag in here. But the more I look at it, the more I think that does need something. Now, Oh, no, it doesn't, because I'm going to put this right here. This says Dreams Await. So see, that takes up that little bare space right there. So I think that's cute. Now for, let me see these colors. If I can get the tag out now. Down here is a little bit of blue. That's kind of a blue and a green up in there. And I didn't want to use anything that was really too blue. So I think what did I get this out for? Maybe this purple, maybe I picked it out of this one down here. I think I'm going to put the purple down here at the bottom. I think it'll be okay. So we'll just put one here and one here. I think it'll be just fine. And I think it was the blue and the butterfly. Because some of these little gems, you can kind of coordinate them a little bit with other stuff. Do I want one at the bottom? Maybe I'll want 3 down there. Simply because maybe I just can. Yeah, I think that looks good with the 3 down there. And then I still don't know that I want anything on my tag topper. So they're not they're not decorated super fancy. I wasn't going for super fancy. Just kind of a easy, quick, simple project. So that's my video. Let me know down in the comments what you think. And I hope you come back to see me for my next video. Let me know if you're going to give them a try. Till next time, everyone, have a wonderful day and happy crafting. Bye for now. Well, anyway, I'm back. I was going to show you what they would look like in the pocket. So this is just our little faux pocket. And we would just sit them right down in our pocket, and it just looks like a fancy little tag. And then you can take it out and write on it. And have your little journal cards. So, nice good sized tag. I like them. All right, everyone, that's it. Next time, bye.